Hello, I'm Dana Cowley. Welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. Today we're in the beautiful Marcus Whitman Hotel in downtown Walla Walla, and my guest today is our State Republican Representative Maureen Walsh. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You are such a big advocate for early childhood development and learning. How did you feel this past session went for your objectives and goals?
Oh, I think we hit a home run this year, actually, and it's really a wonderful feeling because I've served on the Early Learning Committee, chaired it with Representative Kagi, and have enjoyed that for the last 11 years. My entire tenure in the legislature, we sort of established the committee, and I've been on it ever since its inception. This year, we funded early learning with approximately $160 million, which was a large commitment to make, especially in light of the fact of what's going on with our K-12 education system and the funding, the McCleary court case. Now, obviously, the charter schools issue is factoring in as well. I think people are very much engaged in trying to do things that are innovative and thinking outside of the box when it comes to education. And one of the best things and one of the things that we really reap great results and great rewards from is the investment that we've made in early learning. Just
Yes.
Yeah, empowering parents to really get behind their kids' education. What could be wrong with that?
No, and just getting people ready and off to a good start. And I just think there's so much psychology and emotion behind that. If you start school feeling positive about these things, it just lasts through your entire process.
Well,
it's
you're
how you feel
absolutely
about
right.
learning anything for the rest of your life.
That's right. And that's the social emotional learning aspect of all of this. There is kind of a wraparound aspect to this. It's a kind of a wraparound and a way for us to help families understand that there are resources available for them. They don't have to just feel like, oh my God, I've got this little dependent now who needs my absolute attention and everything else. I mean, we want parents to feel that way, but we also want them to understand that there are resources out there that are available, and we will help empower them to be their kids' best and first teachers. And I think that that's really what we're striving for, and what I think will move the ball forward. K-12's having its own issues, and you know, they keep saying let's put more money into that, and we think more money will fix this. We've put more money in K-12 education for a long time now, and I'm not sure we are yielding the results that we had hoped we would. And so I think it's time for us to start recognizing that society is different. Kids are hyper-stimulated these days with all the little mechanisms and machines, and their thumbs are going 100 miles an hour.
I have two high school daughters.
Well, yeah, so you understand, as do I.
And
then
take the phone, look into my eyes. We're going to speak now.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. And I think
The
that's
phone's
something that
behind my back.
Yes, I think we're finding that personal engagement is kind of missing now, and I think it's important for us to just recognize that those changes are happening in our society, and our K-12 system has to keep up with those changes. And so how do we do that? We look at different innovative, creative ways to teach our kids, keep them really excited about school and education in general, and we're getting there, kind of slowly but surely. But one of the best things we've done, I think, is making sure that we bring the parents back into that equation, and early learning, that's a lot what it's about.
Well, you were so successful this year, and we have this funding going forward. Can you maybe give us more of an outline about how you expect that to be used and implemented to benefit the kids?
Oh, sure. Well, obviously, one of the things that we have to do when we're in tough budget cycles, which we were for the last 10 years or so, we're finally kind of lifting out of the horrible budget cycles now. And yeah, phew is right. And we're able to kind of move forward with some of the ideas that we would hope to have instituted, you know, several years ago. One of the things, though, that we have to focus on is our most at-need families, our families that are at risk. And when we can really get those folks up to par, if you will, or on the same playing field as their children, who maybe are not perfect English language speakers, or frankly come from atmospheres of poverty, or environments that are impoverished, those are big issues, and that's where some of the social and emotional learning aspect of early learning comes into play. But also, it's where we need to focus our resources. You know, if you got a kid who's growing up in Bellevue, or Walla Walla for that matter, they may not experience the same problems that some kids who maybe are growing up in a bilingual family, or frankly a non-English speaking family, maybe that's not doing very well financially. that's where we really need to focus those resources. We want to make sure that all kids have a fighting chance, and so the main focus now with the resources available through government are for those families that are most at risk and at need, and that's a good start. But we hope that this is something that becomes a household term. Early learning should be for every child, and every family should be able to take advantage of that.
That is really something I've noticed in my lifetime. I just think when I was growing up in Layton, Utah, most people had a working dad, a stay-at-home mom. There was a lot of emphasis on teaching kids in the home, and in America, that has really diversified and fragmented and changed to the point where we're really evolving quite differently as a country, and that's why this early learning, to me, is so critically important.
Yeah, I would agree. I think society has a different face on it now, and again, I think that it's incumbent upon us, government officials, but also our folks that are involved with our educational system to make sure that we recognize those changes, and that we are trying to adapt to those and trying to make a curriculum that, again, will keep children engaged. We've got too many kids dropping out of school. They become disinterested, or they've fallen behind. Again, that gap, if there's a terrible gap with a kindergartner entering school that maybe only has educated to the level of a 3-year-old, and then you have other kindergartners that maybe are reading on a 3rd grade level, that gap typically does not close in that whole career through K-12. And so it's important that we try to address that early, make sure those kids are, again, on a level playing field as they're entering kindergarten. And I just think that that's incumbent upon us to make sure that we recognize that and, again, can address some of those changes in our society. I think we'll be very successful if we can do that.
Well, you touched on something. What I hear with my daughters sometimes in large groupings of teenagers who, because dropping out is much more common than it used to be, growing numbers, people think it's okay and they'll get by and they will be just fine if they don't graduate from high school. And I think I'm one of those crazy moms who's running around through the, the schools and the social district with this long list of data about, how much better you do in life if you graduate from high school, how much more you earn in life if you get some type of technical training or college degree or computer training, that even the trade schools are so vitally important that we're just not going to have kids that do turn out okay if we don't graduate from high school.
Well, that's right. And you brought up the trade schools. That is one area of education, higher education, that we have focused a lot of our resources towards, are those different options for kids who just aren't going the pathway of K-12 and then on to 4-year college. You've got kids that have interests in other areas. Maybe they're better working with their hands than with their minds, frankly. And I think that it's great to be able to offer those types of courses and those types of available options for kids to pursue different things in life other than what a typical high school and then on to college graduate might do.
Right. Everybody's needed.
Everybody is needed, and there are all levels of society that need those imperative skills, and frankly, we've lost some of those great skills and some of those arts and crafts things that we've used in building and architecture, and I think it's important that those trades and crafts and arts are also that we put some emphasis on those, because they are important in our society. And again, not everybody's cut out for a K-12 college education, and so giving those different options, I think, is also another way that government and educators look outside the box to try to accommodate the individual needs of the kids now.
Maureen, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
This is our Republican Representative, Maureen Walsh. I'm Dana Cowley. Thank you for watching. This is Charter Local Edition Northwest.